What's up, everybody? This is Tech G back with another video to help you successfully pass the CompTIA Security Plus certification exam. So let's get into it. In this video, we're going to talk about effective security governance. We're going to break down the key elements that contribute to a robust security governance framework, which aligns with the CompTIA Security Plus 701 exam objectives. And this video will help you understand not just the theoretical aspects, but also their practical application in real-world scenarios. So let's begin. All right, so let's start with guidelines and policies, which are the backbone of any governance framework. So think of guidelines as recommendations where they're flexible but helpful for steering decisions. And policies, however, they are mandatory rules everyone in the organization must follow. So let's talk about some of the key policies. The first one is the acceptable use policy. So this policy dictates how employees can use organizational assets like computers, internet, and the email. And AUPs, they prevent misuse and help mitigate risks like malware infections or data breaches that are caused by careless behavior. Then we have information security policies. And these are overarching documents that outline the organization's security objectives, the standards to follow, and specific requirements for securing data and systems. Then we have what are called business continuity and disaster recovery plans. So business continuity, this ensures critical business functions continue during disruptions, and disaster recovery. This focuses on restoring IT systems after a catastrophic event. In both plans, they need regular testing and updates to remain effective. Next, we have what is called incident response policy, and this provides a structured approach to detect, respond to, and recover from security incidents, minimizing impact and preventing recurrence. Then we have the software development lifecycle. And policies within the SDLC, they address secure coding practices, code reviews, and testing to ensure software meets security standards. And then we have what is called the change management policy. And this aims to ensure all changes to IT systems are reviewed, approved, and documented to prevent unintended disruptions or vulnerabilities. All right, next we have standards, which set the baseline for consistent and measurable security practices. And here are some examples. So we have password standards. These define requirements for password complexity, length, and expiration to reduce the risk of unauthorized access. We have access control standards. These ensure users have appropriate permissions based on the principle of least privilege, reducing exposure to sensitive data. We have physical security standards. These include measures like badge access systems, security cameras, and restricted areas to protect physical assets. And then we have encryption standards, and these specify algorithms and key lengths to secure data at rest and in transit, adhering to regulatory requirements and best practices. Next, we have procedures. So procedures, they provide detailed step-by-step instructions to carry out policies and standards effectively. And here are a few crucial ones. So the first one is change management procedures. And these include steps to document, test, and approve changes in IT systems before implementation. We have onboarding and offboarding procedures. These ensure security provisioning and deprovisioning of access rights when employees join or leave an organization. And then we have incident response playbooks, and they serve as actionable guides during specific types of incidents like ransomware attacks or phishing breaches. All right, next we have external considerations. So organizations, they don't operate in isolation. External factors, they significantly impact security governance. So here are some of the key considerations. The first one is regulatory. So compliance with laws like GDPR, HIPAA, or CCPA, this is mandatory. Then we have legal considerations. So organizations must consider contractual obligations, intellectual property rights, and liability issues. We have industry standards. So examples like ISO or IEC 27001 or NIST frameworks. These provide best practices. And then we have local, regional, national, and global considerations. So security governance, this must address regional privacy laws, national security mandates, and global trade regulations. Next, we have monitoring and revision. So security governance isn't static. It is a living process. So regular monitoring, this ensures policies and procedures remain effective. Continuous improvement cycles informed by audits and incident reviews. These help refine governance structures and adapt to emerging threats. Next, we have types of governance structures. So different organizations adopt different governance models based on their size, complexity, and regulatory environment. So we have boards, and these provide high-level oversight and strategic direction. We have committees. They focus on specific areas like cybersecurity or compliance. We have government entities. They regulate industries and enforce compliance. We have centralized versus decentralized governance. So centralized governance, this offers uniformity and control, but may lack agility. And decentralized governance, this provides flexibility, but requires clear communication channels. Next, we have roles and responsibilities for systems and data. So effective security governance, this relies on clear role definitions. So some of those roles are as follows. We have owners. They define the purpose and requirements for data or systems. We have controllers. They manage how data is processed and ensure compliance with privacy laws. We have processors. They handle data on behalf of controllers involving third-party vendors. And then we have custodians and stewards. They ensure data integrity, backups, and proper handling. So in summary, effective security governance is more than just a checkbox exercise. It's a culture, a mindset, and a framework that protects an organization's assets, reputation, and future. By understanding and applying these elements, you're not only preparing for your Security Plus exam, but also equipping yourself to make meaningful contributions to any organization. Now, with all of that being said, let's do some of this check on learning. So the first question is, which of the following best describes the purpose of an acceptable use policy? Is it to define guidelines for securing physical access to a facility? Is it to establish rules for how employees can use company-owned resources? Is it to ensure compliance with regulatory requirements? Or is it to outline procedures for incident response? And the correct answer is it is to establish rules for how employees can use company-owned resources. So in AUP, this specifies the acceptable ways employees or users can use company resources such as networks, devices, and data. It sets boundaries to prevent misuse, ensuring proper use aligns with organizational security and ethical guidelines. Next question. Which of the following is an example of a standard in security governance? Is it establishing a playbook for incident response? Is it setting minimum password complexity requirements? Is it conducting disaster recovery exercises? Or is it defining roles and responsibilities for data custodians? And the correct answer is it is setting minimum password complexity requirements. So standards are specific, measurable requirements designed to enforce security policies. Setting password complexity requirements, this is an example of a standard that ensures consistency and security across the organization. And our final question, what is the primary goal of a business continuity plan in the context of security governance? Is it to mitigate the legal risk associated with data breaches? Is it to maintain essential business operations during and after a disruption? Is it to ensure compliance with encryption standards? Or is it to outline procedures for employee onboarding and offboarding? And the correct answer is it is to maintain essential business operations during and after a disruption. So a business continuity plan, this ensures that critical business functions can continue during and after a disruptive event, such as a cyber attack or a natural disaster. This involves identifying key processes, backup strategies, and recovery plans to minimize downtime and maintain operations.